If men don't approach you, if you've been told that you're intimidating, let me tell you the truth. It's not your success. It's not your degrees. It's not that you are super powerful that's pushing men away. It's actually they are simply repelled by the energy that you are carrying. Meaning, if you carry an energy that says, don't bother me, don't come near me, no matter how much in your head and your heart you desire, you wish a guy would look at you, would come to you to spark a conversation, if your energy is saying stay away and you are closed off, then the exact type of man that you desire, that you wish would come to you, will not, unless you start to shift your energy on the inside. So if this hits home, if you love these polarity topics, if you want to be that woman that just naturally, magnetically brings in the type of love that she desires from a masculine, healthy, intelligent man, check out my free training down in the link below. Let's get started, ladies. So if you are the type of woman who is, let's say, successful, who has a lot of things going in her life, and you feel like, I just don't get it. Like, why am I not noticed by men? Why is it that I'll go into like public places hoping and wishing like, hey, maybe some guy's going to talk to me, maybe he'll see me, and you're just feeling disappointed. You're sitting there at a table or wherever you're at, and you're scanning the room, and you might even have pinpointed and found a few men or some guy that you would love to see his attention, and yet the days going by, the evenings are going by, and you're wondering like, why is no one approaching me? And it's not like you are carrying these degrees or your success badges. That's not what you're doing, right? You're not trying to advertise yourself as the successful woman. I mean, you just walk into a setting, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're gifted, you know that. But you were just hoping that there's a guy that sees you, for your heart. And so if he's not noticing, if men are not seeing you, then I want to be that woman that helps you break through these blocks and become that open pathway to receiving the masculine man into your heart, into your life. And I can only speak from my own experience, things that I have done. Well, the failures, which then led to the successes. And because I've walked through it step by step, I've done all the inner work, and I continue to do that on the inside. The more my life changes in my outside experience, the more I'm able to guide you through this. So take some notes, take some mental notes. Let's get into this. So, ladies, I don't think you are going out and advertising your success. You just are successful. You're a powerful woman, okay? You have a lot going for you. However, men respond to energy, okay? Which means if in you, emotionally, subconsciously, the energy that you're giving off is, I'm guarded, I'm scared, I'm actually closed off. And a lot of times these are subconscious. But if there's something about you, if you tap into, if you feel into yourself, like do an experiment next time you go out and you are feeling closed off, timid, scared, shy, men will sense that. Or maybe you're feeling cold or disconnected, or just like you're barely even there. You're kind of numbed out, maybe even dissociated a little bit from these experiences, or you're feeling anxious, right? Men will feel that. And if they feel that you're already closed off, or the energy of don't bother me, or I don't feel good, they're not going to approach. They're not going to want to approach. I mean, true men, they don't want to feel like a failure. They don't want to feel rejected by you if you're already energetically pushing him away, aka rejecting him from anything even possibly happen. Because men are so good at reading energy, like way more than we give them credit for, honestly. Men in their brain, God bless them, we are different. Men and women are different. And in their brain, they don't have the amount of synapses for language the way women do. And so you know how they are good, where they make it up? Reading energy really, really well. Okay, that's why we can say one thing and they'll pick up a totally different thing, and they're going to respond to that energy. And that's why I always say the feminine goes first, and that should be so powerful for you to really calibrate and digest within you. Like, that's how much power you have. And so if you've been so unsuccessful from experiencing men and their I don't want to say attention, but that connection, let's say it like that, then you have the power to do something about it, because men will respond to the feminine. They always respond to the feminine because in nature, in biology, the feminine goes first. And it's absolutely true. I've experimented with this when I was dating and in marriage, and it's fantastic of how true it is, which means we have a lot of responsibility. And so if you are feeling closed off and rejected, a man is wired to avoid failure. They want to succeed. Like true, good, masculine men, they want to win with us, ladies. They want to be our hero. That's amazing. Like they want to impress us. They want us to do good. They want us to be happy. But if they're sensing that something is going to be a fail, why would they even like what's that phrase? What's that saying? Like stick their neck out for it in the first place if it's just going to get chopped off. And so there's a difference, ladies, between being the woman worth pursuing, which I believe you are. Okay. But that's a difference between being this whole wall some guy needs to climb over just to get to you and say hello and pass this invisible barrier of whatever wall that you've put up. And so how you feel within yourself, okay? Even take a moment and even feel, how do you feel? But how do you feel is actually exactly how that man will feel you, okay? The world within and the feminine, I mean, our territory technically it's within us. We have our own world within us. Our world is exactly what the man will feel and experience. So if you're in your head, you're emotionally guarded, you're scared, you're, disconnected, that's exactly how you're going to come across to that man. And that's exactly what he's going to do in response, right? If you're closed off, if you're cold, he's not going to come towards you. Now, if we go even further, if you give men the vibe that you are not feeling safe, if you're not open, then men definitely don't want to feel like there's some kind of predator harassing you or some creepy guy. Okay, no one wants to feel like that, obviously. And so that's why we give them the invitation. And for the feminine's invitation is her body language, right? It's her openness. Yes, energetically, and that's something you're going to have to work out within yourself to start to get comfortable, to feel safe, to feel safety within yourself. So that guy feels that receptivity from you. But with your eyes, like some girl said, I try to smile, I try to make eye contact. And that's something I even started to practice when I started to become aware of, I say I want a guy's attention or I want a guy to approach me, but like if it's true, how I feel to myself is how I come off to men. Well, then let's do a little experiment. And I remember trying to tap into my body and I'm like, wow, I'm feeling kind of antsy. Like I'm feeling a little tense. I'm feeling a little closed off. Wow, I just looked at that guy. Wow, I just broke off eye contact so fast. What happened? Why did I get scared? It just became like a psychological experiment, I guess. And the more I started to realize, wow, like I do have some stuff within me, some blocks. Like what's actually really going on where I'm saying one thing that I desire, but energetically I'm coming off different. And only until I started to do the inner work and started to feel that safety to unblock those specific areas that were keeping me small and scared and, rejecting love before it could even come my way. Until I started to do that inner work, only then did my life start to change. And I started to see amazing, high quality men start to come into my life. And it's not because they didn't exist. That's the coolest part. That's the best part. It's not that they didn't exist. It's that I was no longer closed off and I was able to actually receive them into my orbit, as you want to say it, right? So men are not looking for some woman to be perfect. Okay, that's not realistic. That's not what they're looking for, but they're looking for humanness, feminine magnetism, a woman who's open, who's playful. Actually, this reminds me of my video, the 4 feminine traits that masculine men love about women. And one of them is being in her pleasure, in her playfulness. And you can only do that when you experience that safety and pleasure and playfulness within yourself. Which, if you are connecting the dots and you've been watching this video or these videos that I've been creating, it all starts with you, the inner work. The world inside, how you work through your world, what world you're experiencing on the inside is then the world you will see always reflect on the outside. So this reminds me a little bit of a story. As I've said, sometimes we want one thing in our head and then we're doing something totally different, like sending mixed signals, I guess you can say. So I met my husband on a dating app. And yes, I'm going to do a story about that because it's kind of funny, kind of cool. But when I was swiping on these guys, I saw Tanner, and I'm not even kidding. Like, my first thought was, whoa, this guy is attractive. He is so handsome. He looks so masculine. He looks so manly. Like, immediately from like all the profiles, like, this guy stood out for me. And I like paused. And then you know what I did? I almost swiped left. I almost said no. Like, what? And I'm going to break this down even deeper in one of my videos, but like, what in the world? Like, everything in me was like, wow, like, look at this guy, like, tingles in my body. Like, I just remember being like, wow, this guy is so handsome. He's so attractive. And yet, why in the world did I almost say no? Why did I just almost sabotage that? And I almost swiped left until I paused myself and I said, whoa, Elena, like, what are you doing? This is just an experiment. You're doing this for fun. There's a deeper story about this whole story. But anyways, I said in that moment, I'm just like doing this for fun. So why would I disqualify myself? And when I sat with it, I like the thought that comes up immediately. And that's that subconscious program that was running me my whole life, actually, come to know. I wonder what your programs are. But the subconscious program was, guys like that, really attractive, handsome, masculine, manly guys like that, don't look at girls like me. They don't go for girls like me. And thank God I caught myself. I thank God I like stopped and like processed through like the coding, the program literally going on in my head, the subconscious, I pulled it out. And thank God I stopped that, because I almost said no to a man who actually wanted to marry me. Not just for me to be his girlfriend date, but this is a guy who just devotionally loves me, pursues me, adores me. And I almost said no to that because of some sabotaging, unworthiness, even fear of man beliefs I had. I didn't even know, like, going and doing the deeper work, I had to pause and be like, what's going on? And I realized, like, as much as I desired a masculine man, I don't know what in the world, but for some reason, true masculine, healthy men almost like scared me. Okay, that's some deep work I had to go through. And I teach women how to go through these blocks. Stuff like this comes up all the time, right? So anyways, thank God that wasn't sabotaged, and I did marry him, which is so awesome, right? And so, ladies, like, this is a constant theme that I work with women who have so much to bring to the table, right? They are like the whole package. They're very developed. They're givers. They have big hearts. They're intelligent. They're compassionate. They're loving. They're kind. They're beautiful. They're good women. And the problem is not because they haven't, done the work to become this amazing woman. There's something that holds us back, something that's holding you back, something that is preventing you from even stepping into the main scene of your love story, because you're already exiting that scene before your love story can even start. And this is what the common theme that I see in the women that I work with, because it's all our nervous system, your nervous system, us as the feminine related to the masculine. And it's not just love, by the way. That's some other news I've had to discover even in my own life. It's life, it's business, it's money, it's God, it's all of life. We are the nervous system, common denominator, the feminine, to the masculine. So anyways, before I get totally off track, ladies, this isn't about acting more feminine. This is not this contorted, distorted feminine behaviors or traits. It's none of that, because that's going to go into manipulation, and it's not embodied feminine womanhood. Because remember, like I said, men are really good at reading energy. And so if you are wanting to be that woman who's open, who's receptive, then you have to start to feel open and grounded and warm on the inside. You have to cultivate that experience on the inside first. And so doing the inner work, helping your nervous system get out of that control or self-protection mode, is the key to inviting a man into your life. Because if the energy that's coming off is, I don't trust you, or I'm scared, or whatever, right? Men are not going to approach you. So the more I started to feel more comfortable in my body and try to even sustain eye contact. And you can, like, you don't have to like go out to an evening to some restaurant and sit there and stare at guys. Like, it's just like simple as going to the store. I started to practice like that, walking outside. And if I was fine with women, but I started to practice with males. Look at man, a guy walked by, a man walked by, it didn't even matter. Did I even look at this person? Did I even make eye contact with them? Did I even sustain it a little bit? Or did I drop, shy away, get scared, look away? And that's where most women lose out. They collapse. Regardless of what blessing we're asking for. But it's like we get to a point where it's like, here's our opportunity, and we can't even hold ourselves without collapsing, getting scared, getting small. All this stuff starts to control us, right? And so good news, I want to tell you, it's not about these like YouTube tips you can find. The true good news is you can come in alignment with the desires of your heart, but it starts with you doing the inner work, the nervous system work, the body, heart work to become receptive and open to exactly the blessing that you desire. And that is why I am such a huge preacher on inner work. I would not even be here and wouldn't be married if I didn't finally have the courage and if I wasn't ready to say, you know what, like I'm so done with years passing by and me repeating these same cycles and being painfully hopeful all the time. I'm ready. Like what it is in me that is blocking, like what fears I actually have about love, about life, about men, about relationships. I am ready to look them dead in the eyes, these issues, because they are ruling my life and they're kind of ruining my life. And I believe I have a lot to offer and I could be a fantastic wife, an amazing mom, and I'm ready to do this. And when I said I was ready to do this, I was ready. And that's why my results came fast. And by the way, ladies, again, I'm going to do this in another video, but I'll do a spoiler alert. I met my husband super fast. I literally met my husband like 2 weeks after starting this deep inner work journey. More on that later. But I want to, ladies, inspire you. If this is speaking your message, if you are tired of feeling overlooked, invisible to love, don't take it personally, but do take it seriously. And I really want you to start with my free training in the link below. Activate your feminine charm. I go into the 3 hidden truths that will make you irresistible to masculine men. It's going to enhance your desirability because it's going to unblock the things, the myths, the areas where you are stuck in. It's going to unblock that so you can become that magnet naturally, energetically for the masculine, healthy type of love that you desire. I did it. I know that you can. And so if you are ready to be pursued seriously, then I invite you, get started on your love story seriously. You don't need to watch another video. Trust me. I was the queen of binge watching so many things until I realized, okay, I know a lot, but now I need to do, instead of the understanding of things, I need to do some inner standing and do the stuff on the inside. That's how everything changed for me on the outside. So ladies, if you feel like you are unapproachable, I don't want you to be discouraged. I want you to recognize you have so much power on the inside to shift to be that woman that, like, I mean, I've been reading some of these comments in my videos and I have so many men that are talking about, like, we want women who are doing the inner work, who are open to receive us, to help us win. And by the way, kind of a little side note, I was watching a video and something about passport bros, and they were interviewing men in different countries. You know, why are you guys here? Why are you guys talking to some of these women? And all of them said, well, these are feminine women and we like these polarity type of relationships where I can finally just be the man and be connected or admired or appreciated by a woman. And one of the questions that was asked for one of the guys was, well, what about these women specifically? Like, what makes it maybe easier to talk to them in the first place as opposed to some of our women back home, aka USA? And he said, well, they're feminine, aka they're receptive, they're open. I can say things, I can say a joke. I feel welcomed when I come up and we can talk, and it's fun. It's not just business. It's not me just having to come up and impress them. And that's honestly, ladies, like, look at how these men are encouraged when they are in a presence of a true feminine embodied woman who has that safety on the inside. So I want to encourage you, ladies, You are magnificent in all that you can bring into a relationship. I know that, but you deserve a relationship where you're truly seen for you, for who you are and your heart. And that takes a lot of courage and vulnerability to actually access your heart in the first place. And so if you are ready for this type of love story, deep, passionate, you know, you can check out my next video. I would love to see that. But as always, ladies, leave your comments, share these videos with your friends, like them. I want more and more women to be inspired that real love does exist, and it's not a timing issue. It is, it's just time for you to be aligned. So check out my next video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.